Now to the Middle East and rising tensions over the Gaza ceasefire deal. President Trump issuing a warning to Hamas that it must disarm or the U.S. will take action to disarm it. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, is on the scene for us again there in Israel. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. We've been saying all along that this deal is extremely fragile and that there is still a lot left to do. And I think now we're starting to see some of that come into play, with President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu telling Hamas, hand over the bodies and disarm or else. This morning, President Trump with a stark warning to Hamas.
If they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games.
Just one day after brokering a historic hostage exchange and ceasefire, Karen Travers pressing Trump on the deadline he'll put on Hamas to give up its arms.
A reasonable period of time, pretty quickly. A reasonable period of time.
Trump's warning comes as Israel accuses Hamas of violating its ceasefire agreement, failing to return all bodies of hostages who were killed. We spoke to Ruby Chen, father of Itai Chen, one of the two American hostages whose bodies are still being held by Hamas.
As I told the president yesterday, the job is not done. There are still 24 hostages left behind. There are no less hostages than the 20 that came out. And there's an obligation, both for the Israeli government as well as the U.S. government when it comes to my son, the youngest U.S. citizen taken captive over 2 years ago, to bring him back home.
Stories of the horrors of captivity and the joy of release now surfacing from the released hostages. Omri Moran, now reunited with his wife and two daughters. We spoke to his brother-in-law.
When I saw him with the girls, I realized that I was waiting for that even more, because those girls were waiting for him for so long, speaking to him, dreaming about him, talking to a poster as if that is there.
On Tuesday, the bodies of 3 Israelis were handed back to Israel. Hamas says some of the others remain trapped under rubble from buildings destroyed in the war. Palestinian prisoners released by Israel now returning to a home that's unrecognizable. This man came back to find his wife and children have been killed. My daughter's birthday was supposed to be in 5 days, he says. My loved ones, they're dead. The United Nations and aid organizations now hoping to scale up operations to begin to ease the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Well, closure for so many, but many still waiting. And we saw them gathering, still meeting, still supporting each other, calling on Israel and America to not forget that their loved ones have not been returned. Today, the first funeral for one of those captives, his parents waiting more than 2 years to bury their son. Michael.
All right, Ian, thank you so much for that. Our thoughts are with them. We're going to go now.